The demonic cult leader is my wife. Bang Man-hu said, I cannot believe a space like this exists beneath Haidong. Who in the world created this? It is truly astonishing. As Guchil looked at the person lying on the floor, he noticed something on his clothes and muttered, the Nether King Squad. He suddenly remembered what instructor Jock once said, Senior, someday I will form my own squad, the Nether King Squad. I have already decided on the name. Guchil said softly, that was your dream. The Nether King Squad, annihilated. A few moments later, this is, someone whispered, whisper, whisper. Bang Man-hu said, a 9-branch path. Instructor Zhang said, it looks like the enemy split their numbers. There are traces in every passage. So where, Bang Man-hu asked, should we go? Jin Yumyoung said, He thought to himself, I am not omniscient, but if we follow the success tales Bang Man-hu mentioned in my previous life, first we should go down that corridor. Jin Yumyoung said aloud, then, Sabiyon interrupted, huh? What is that? Jin Yumyoung turned to look in the direction she pointed and said, Sabiyon continued, that thing, did someone start digging a 10th tunnel and stop halfway? Jin Yumyoung thought, something about this gives me a feeling of deja vu. Cheon Yura said, it is as if sword marks were etched here. Jin Yumyoung realized, the same ones I saw at the Cheonil Academy's mainstream. Cheon Yura said again, it feels strangely familiar. Bang Man-hu exclaimed, you cannot just slash it forcefully. As Cheon Yura unsheathed her sword, Bang Man-hu quickly added, I will take a look for a moment. He took out a talisman, waved it up and down until it straightened, and his eyes suddenly glowed red. Then he chanted, Surasuri, Mahasuri. He threw the talisman, and it stuck to the wall. The air suddenly grew heavy. Jin Yumyoung thought, they say magic was more common than demonic arts in the past. Perhaps this is an orthodox method of wielding demonic energy. Bang Man-hu said, I sense many sorcerous energies in this space. The ceiling and that wall are linked by sorcery. If we forcibly break through the wall, we would likely be buried alive. Cheon Yura said, I plan to proceed according to the orthodox way from the start. It is impossible for me not to recognize that. She continued, I have drawn parts of the heaven-slaying demon sword art hundreds or thousands of times. No, tens of thousands of times. As she moved gracefully with her sword, she suddenly stopped. Bang Man-hu asked, why did you not tell me earlier, young cult leader? Suddenly a door opened. Jin Yumyoung thought, it is open. Cheon Yura turned to him and said, Yumyoung, will you be all right? Jin Yumyoung thought, the heaven-slaying demon sword art is the supreme secret technique of the Cheon clan. Only those chosen may cultivate it. Because the sword path of this art was engraved into the tomb itself, it lies buried here. If we take that path, all the information I learned from Bang Man-hu in my past life will become worthless. Jin Yumyoung smirked and said, let us go. He thought again, my intuition is tingling. In a distance, Gold Ghost Lord Jiam Joksan said, casualties? A disciple reported, 5 seriously injured, 3 dead. Gold Ghost Lord Jiam Joksan held his head and muttered, this is maddening. The Yacha Heavenly Corps is composed of peak-level martial artists, yet this is the result. What kind of demonic sight is this? Even enchantments would be less cruel. These strange monsters, I have never seen their like. I cannot adapt. The disciple asked, first disciple, would it not be better to retreat and seal the entrance? Gold Ghost Lord Jiam Joksan said, no, there is no guarantee there is only one entrance. He thought, more importantly, if we succeed in this extermination, I will be confirmed as the successor of the unorthodox tyrant Heavens. Suddenly they heard laughter in the distance. Kukuku, I can hear you plotting. A disciple shouted, who is there? A voice replied, who do you think? I am the Reaper chariot that will drag you to hell. The 10th Heaven General appeared, unfolding her fan. Suddenly, one disciple screamed in agony. Gah! Gold Ghost Lord Jiam Joksan froze in shock as another disciple stumbled back, trembling. What is going on? Another gasped. Their friend staggered toward them, his body twitching, and said weakly, help! Jiam Joksan's eyes widened as he saw the disciple's life force being drained. He shouted, is that the supreme absorption art? The 10th Heaven General licked her lips and said, how could you mention such a crude demonic art? This is the peerless divine art, the life-absorbing demonic art. She closed her fan with a soft snap. A disciple stammered, life-absorbing, demonic art? Could you be the Playboy Lord? Gold Ghost Lord Jiam Joksan pointed his sword at shouted, why are you in league with the youngest disciple? The 10th Heaven General said lazily, you will be dead soon anyway, so what is the point of worrying? Jiam Joksan gritted his teeth. No matter how great a master you are of extreme demonic arts, can you handle this many people alone? The 10th Heaven General smirked. I never said I am alone, did I? A shadow appeared behind him. Jium Juksan's expression darkened. Wait, this demonic energy. The demonic cult, he thought. That is even stronger than the Playboy Lord's aura. This one has taken demonic arts to the absolute extreme. The yin-yang fist demon stepped forward and said, Now let the hunt begin. Bang Man Hu said, What a beautiful mural. It even seems to have some kind of ritualistic value. Sabion said, The texture is quite unique. I wonder what kind of dye was used. Jin Yomyong asked, Are you interested in art? Sabion replied, Well, even if I am not, I should be. The more I know about the little details, the easier it is to make my clients pay a fortune for even a single brushstroke. Jin Yomyong said, I see. Bang Man Hu thought to himself, She is so knowledgeable. Sabion continued, By the way, the contents of this mural. She ran her long, delicate fingers along the surface. Suddenly she froze and said softly, Are those monsters? Devouring humans? The four evils, Hundun, Cheongchi, Taowu, and Taoti, once raged like storm winds, devouring humans, until a golden sage descended from the heavens to hunt them. Jin Yomyong said, Well, everyone, it is nice to appreciate the mural, but there is no time to waste. We should hurry. Cheon Yura said, I want to look a little longer. There is something I need to confirm. She continued to read the mural aloud. After the sage disappeared, humanity blossomed with civilization and built great armies. However, when the monsters reappeared, all that progress was rendered useless. Then, when humanity was once again on the brink of extinction, the sun and moon descended from the sky and sealed the monsters underground once more. Sabion touched her soft chin thoughtfully. The sun-moon divine cult. They are Rahu and Gyedo. In other words, they are like the founders of the sun-moon divine cult. Jin Yomyong said, Does that mean this mural is a historical record? Sabion looked toward Cheon Yura. If we follow it to the end, it should become clear. Cheon Yura said, It is blocked. Jin Yomyong said, Another door. He added, This time, it is not the heaven-slaying demon sword art. Tying his hair, he smiled faintly and said, It is my turn. Cheon Yura looked puzzled. Jin Yomyong? Jin Yomyong thought to himself, Fortunately, there are fewer moves than the ones I saw at the Cheon Il Academy. I must succeed spectacularly and impress Cheon Yura. Beiksanga frowned slightly. She thought. At the Cheon Il Academy, young Master Jin's sword techniques were black. So why are there traces of green this time? Her eyes widened. Young Master Jin, wait. What you are holding right now? Jin Yomyong turned and said, He raised the sacred relic of the Orthodox Alliance, the Jade Celestial Divine Sword, and said, It is the divine artifact. The Jade Celestial Divine Sword. Suddenly, the walls shook, and rubble fell from above. Cheon Yura said calmly, Poor control of force can be improved with practice, Yomyong. Instructor Jiang blinked in disbelief. Was the Cheon Il Academy's training that easy? Jin Yomyong thought grimly, Cursed divine artifact. He glanced at the shining relic in his hand. Cheon Yura asked, Was that swordsmanship passed down from the gods as well? Jin Yomyong thought, She does not seem to know the true nature of the 10-fanged divine sword art. He replied lightly, That is not it. Cheon Yura said, Wait. The divine artifact, the Jade Celestial Divine Sword. Their attention snapped forward as they heard crackling noises in the distance. Bang Man Hu gasped, That's... Jin Yomyong instinctively pulled Cheon Yura close to protect her. He thought, An armored centipede. Bang Man Hu shouted, Be careful, its outer shell is as hard as steel. Jin Yomyong said, Oh? Cheon Yura said, I see. Bang Man Hu thought to himself, A man who tore through a steel door, a woman even stronger than him. Then he looked at Beiksanga charging forward. And the woman who has been itching to swing her sword herself. Beiksanga swiftly dodged the centipede's strikes, spun her blade and stabbed its side. The monster screeched in pain. Bang Man Hu shouted, Careful! The bodily fluids of an armored centipede are highly acidic, Beiksanga smirked. In that case, she sliced open its belly. Go gra! Gra! Beiksanga leapt above the beast. Secret art, dual star-cross strike. With a blinding slash, the armored centipede's head was cut clean off. She landed gracefully, smiling. This is nothing, Bang Man Hu exclaimed. The armored centipede did not even have time to fight back, and the cave remains unharmed. Instructor Jiang nodded with satisfaction. As expected of our instructor, Jin Yomyong thought, but somehow, this feels more like a demonic cult raid than an orthodox sex expedition. Cheon Yura said, Still, you are somewhat useful. I see the qualities of a capable disciple. Are you willing to join our cult? Fake Sangha shouted in shock. That would ruin my family's reputation. Chianyura smiled faintly. Ah, I see. That is a bit disappointing. Jin Yomyong said, still, this trap seems somewhat weak. Sabayon said, the mural continues. Jin Yomyong thought, the monsters changed tactics. A monster's voice echoed from the mural. Let us take the form of humans. Let us infiltrate their society and stir up conflict. The painting showed frenzied mobs pointing at the outcasts chanting for blood. Stab them, stab them. If you did not want to be stabbed, you should have obeyed. The cycle repeated endlessly. Hatred feeding hatred. Single out the different. Hate them. Drive them back. Promise safety to those who conform. Voices painted on the wall echoed eerily. You need friends. Stab them. Stab them. Then a priestess raised her hand and cried, everyone, calm your anger. A priest beside her said, we are all humans. But their voices were drowned by the chorus, stab them, stab them. When the world burned once more, when despair and rage overflowed, he appeared. Jin Yomyong said, I can roughly guess who that is. Chianyura said, at least one thing is certain, this tomb was not first created by the heavenly mystic maiden. Thank you all so much for the continued support, my amazing Otaku Go viewers. I truly appreciate every single one of you. I've just created a new channel called Otaku Go Compilations. It's where I'll be uploading longer full-format videos so you can enjoy the content continuously without any interruptions. Please make sure to subscribe to Otaku Go Compilations and keep supporting the community. And as always, don't forget to leave a like, comment below, and share your thoughts. It really helps boost the analytics and keeps both channels growing. Once again, thank you for being part of the Otaku Go family. See you all in the next video.